It was the best preserved specimen of a mammoth ever found. And this particular mammoth was an infant. It had somehow become trapped in a mud bank in Siberia, which thawed after millennia due to climate change. And I was looking at this image, I couldn't forget about it, and I tried to describe it, and the poem just seemed inert. It just sat there, it wouldn't go anywhere. And at some point, I understood that the mammoth wanted to speak. Little mammoth. Mother's milk in my belly, and a little of her shit, too, so that I might eat of the sour green steppes that open endlessly before me. Though not long after I slid into sunlight and the grass world, I slid again into the mud hole and screamed, and screaming sucked clay into my trunk till I lay on the bottom, my milk tusks not even sprouted, a sweet undercoat of fat ready for my first winter, and I am still 1 month old and 40,000 years without my mother. Great pleasure that reading that poem for me is making people go, oh. It's like a biological response. The bit about excrement needs a gloss. Mammoths actually did this. They depended upon a particular bacteria to digest these very tough grasses that grew across all the steppes of the northern hemisphere. So to ensure that your baby had that, you would feed a little bit of excrement and pass the bacteria on, which is a great detail about mammoth culture and one hell of a metaphor. Think about that. I said something like that to an audience I was reading the other day, and a woman in the front row said, "What about the fathers?" This is another small animal poem. It takes its title from a beautiful little town south of San Francisco Bay, Pescadero. The little goats like my mouth and fingers, and one stands up against the wire fence and taps on the fence board, a hoof made blacker by the dirt of the field, pushes her mouth forward to my mouth so that I can see the smallish squared seeds of her teeth and the bristle whiskers, and then she kisses me, though I know it doesn't mean kiss. Then leans her head way back, arcing her spine, goat yoga, all pleasure and greeting, and then good-natured indifference. She loves me. She likes me a lot. She takes interest in me. She doesn't know me at all, or need to, having thus acknowledged me. Though I am all happiness, since I have been welcomed by the field's small envoy, and the splayed hoof, fragrant with soil, has rested on the fence board beside my hand. That poem was in a national magazine a couple months ago. It generated all this great mail. A goat farmer in Oregon has invited me to come spend some time with his goats. A number of citizens of Pescadero have expressed their pleasure in having their town written about. And the best mail came from a first grade teacher at an alternative school in the Bay Area, where each year the kindergarten class visits the goat farm in Pescadero. And this year, the first graders read my poem and reminisced about their trip. What a fate for a poem, right? Text of memory, time, pleasure.